Hello Year 3 and welcome back to your final writing lesson of the week, which means we are going to be finishing off our diary entries. We've been so impressed with everything that you've come up with this week, so we know we are going to finish off strong. But first we have noticed that in your writing, even though it is fantastic with its vocabulary and creativity, we are being a little bit less mindful of our capital letters. So your do now today is you have got a diary entry that looks like so. You have to edit it for your capital letters. Now, some of them are in the wrong place and some of them are missing completely. So what I would like you to do is go through that text and write down any words which you think shouldn't have a capital letter or any words that should have a capital letter. If you've got a printer and you can have it out in front of you, then you can edit it on the sheet. But either way, don't rewrite the whole thing, just write the words that you would need to edit. And there is a challenge at the end where you can up-level the piece, which means make it more interesting by adding in some noun phrases, so adjectives, or a show, don't tell. So again, pause the video because I'm going to go straight into the answers. So when you're ready, press play and you can see if you have got them all. Okay, so what I have done there is highlighted in green where the mistakes were. So you can see in that first line, after Dear Diary, today has been the. The doesn't need a capital letter because it's not at the beginning of a sentence. It's not the name of a place, a person. It's not a day of the week or a month of the year. So it should be a lowercase t. Then there should also be, and I have missed it out, so that is on me. You should also have a capital letter for to. To start off with, I needs a capital letter because you're talking about yourself. Had the strangest random capital letter in strangest there, we don't need that. Feeling when I, again, woke up. Again, the you doesn't need a capital letter because it's not at the beginning of a sentence. I had long golden curls. I was very much a girl. I, again, so would have been a good idea is to go through and look for all of those I's, referring to yourself, and change those to a capital. I started how happened. The rest of the day only became stranger. Mum, beginning of a capital letter, so of a sentence, sorry, so that needs a capital letter. And dad, and again, doesn't need to be at the beginning of a sentence, so it needs a capital, and also dad would need a capital because it's a name. Didn't seem to notice a random T there that doesn't need a capital either, which astonished me, and before I knew it, I was being rushed into the car in my frilly pink dress. Dress is a noun, but it's not a name, so it doesn't need a capital D. Well done if you went on to the challenge and you up-leveled the piece by adding in some noun phrases. Perhaps you can upload that to Seesaw and we can see what you came up with. So we are on the last part of our diary, but to do that we are going to have a think again about our tenses. So we can use words that show if the events have already happened, are happening now, or will happen in the future. Now, you should be aware that you have been writing primarily in the past tense in your diary entries because they are a recount of things that have already happened. But in the last section, we are going to write a little bit about our future plans, which means we need to change tense. So what I am going to do is share my screen again, but this time I'm going to show you a very familiar video, and I'm just going to make sure that I do that with sound because that wouldn't be very helpful. Yeah, there we go. So I'm going to play you this video, which should look familiar to you.
Free biscuits. Oh, who will fall for that? When we talk about things that haven't happened yet, we call it the future tense. We often use the word will in front of a verb. Looks like he will be sticky. Seriously, you really do fall for everything. When something is happening now, we use the present tense. Now he is sticky. Sentences that describe something that's already happened and use words like was are in the past tense. He was sticky. Every verb has a past, present and future tense form. Licked, licking and will lick. Hey, no, don't you even think about... Oh, yuck.
Okay, so let's go back to our slide. So we are going to be looking at the future tense. to be shifting from past to future. So I've got a few examples here of verbs and what they would look like if you were to change it to the future tense. Sorry, I'm going to get confused with that, aren't I? So we've got yesterday I walked becomes tomorrow I will walk. That will word is really useful. Yesterday I played, tomorrow I will play. Yesterday I wanted to, tomorrow I want to. So that shows that you can shift the tense to the future to show what you would like to do later on. So you can change from the past to the future. So I'll do the first one with you. Yesterday I thought, tomorrow I will think. So now we've got yesterday I laughed, tomorrow I will laugh. Yesterday I drove, tomorrow I will drive. Yesterday I slept, tomorrow I will sleep. And yesterday I wrote, tomorrow I will write. Okay, so that will word is what's really useful there. So I've got another example here. What I've done is collected a few pictures. I've got one of some friends, a park, some ducks and some swings, and I have constructed a future tense sentence using those pictures. I've highlighted in red where I have used the future tense. Tomorrow, I want to visit the park with my friends. We will feed the ducks by the pond and play on the swings. I wonder who will swing the highest. If you want to, you can pause the video now and try and write that in the past, so thinking about your ed suffix. Okay, I have another example here. So again, I have school, I have a picture of somebody writing, some lunch and a football. So again, I've constructed what I could write if I was using future tense. At school, I am planning on writing a fantastic story about an elf invasion. I will ask my dad to make me a tasty lunch, so I will have enough energy to play football. So we are going to be looking at writing the last part of our diary entry. So we are going to have the end of our exciting day and then plans for the future. And that's where your future tense is going to come in really handy. And remember, lots of you are doing a great job at this of making sure that you mention that the whole point of this diary entry is that you are writing about sports day. But the really weird thing is that you have changed from a girl to a boy or a boy to a girl, just like Bill and his new frock. So what I'm going to do is switch over to my visualizer and I'm going to give you, as always, an idea of how I would write my last section. Okay, so as you can see, that focus, I've got end of day and I've got my future plans. So end of day, I think I'm just going to have like a summing up of my feelings about how things happened. So I'm going to say, and remembering I'm writing as if this is a friend. Well, diary, what can, making sure that's what can I, so making sure that is a capital, just like we did in our do now. Well, diary, what can I say other than it has been the weirdest day ever? And I'm going to use an exclamation mark there to really emphasize my feeling. Now, once I've written my sentence, remember we go back and we check to make sure that there aren't any mistakes. Well, dairy. That's wrong, so that needs to swap the I and the A. Please make sure that you're checking that because we are not writing about any cows here. Well, diary, what can I say other than it has been, been, so that needs to be 2 E's. The weirdest day ever, great. I might ask my diary a question, a rhetorical question, because remember you're writing as if this is a friend. I wonder if it will still be like this tomorrow. And because I'm asking my diary a question, what punctuation mark do I need at the end of that sentence? A question mark. Well, diary, what can I say other than it has been the weirdest day ever? So I don't know why. Oh, that's my I've done my dot of my like there a bit too high. So let me read that again because I got tricked there. Well, diary, what can I say other than it has been the weirdest day ever? I wonder if it will still be like this tomorrow. So now I can talk about my future plans, and this is where I'm going to shift my tense. Tomorrow, that's my adverb of time, so I'm going to do a comma there, remembering that from a few days ago. If all is back to normal, and I know back has both a curly and a kicking curl. Tomorrow, if all is back to normal, tomorrow, all is back to normal, what could I plan to do? I will visit my friend. Now, my friend, if I was to sound it out, but I know it has that silent I before the E. I will visit my friend Max, and Max needs a capital letter because he is a name, and tell him all about my odd time as a boy at sports day. Tomorrow, if all is back to normal, I will visit my friend. Also, I've got I will, so I know that is my future tense, my friend Max, and tell him all about my odd time as a boy on sports day. I wonder if you'll believe me, diary. I wonder if he will, so again, that's future, he will believe me, diary. And I'm asking my diary a question there, and I might say either way. Or maybe I could say something like, either way, I'm going to bring my medal. So I might shift up a bit there and go, perhaps I should, oh you lucky duck, I should bring my medal as proof. So let's read that back and see if I need to edit anything. Now I know I've used my future tense, which is great, so I'm going to read from the beginning. Well, diary, what can I say other than it has been the weirdest day ever? I wonder if it will still be like this tomorrow. Tomorrow, if all is back to normal, I will visit my friend Max and tell him all about my odd time as a boy at sports day. I wonder if he will believe me, diary. Perhaps I should bring my medal as proof. Prof, that's probably wrong, so I think it's double O there as proof. So there you have it. There's my end section of my diary. I've signed off. I've said how I felt about the day overall, and then future plans using the future tense. So as always, I cannot wait to see what you guys come up with. Maybe you have a lot more exciting plans in mind than my character does. But remember, you are writing about sports day, you have changed gender, and you are writing about what you would like to do next. So well done for all of your efforts, and we can't wait to see what you guys get up to next. Well done.